For the Canadian director of Bitter Harvest, the horrifying accounts of Stalin's forced famine in 1930s Ukraine still touch a nerve. He remembers his mother's stories, travelling hundreds of kilometres to find food and ultimately freedom. George Mindeluk recalls his mother's first-hand accounts of Soviet efforts to deliberately starve millions of Ukrainians.
And one of the stories she told me was that when she went to school with her friend Natalia, they would see other kids begging in Kharkiv, where they grew up, begging for food. On the way back from school in the afternoon, many of those children were lying dead as corpses, having starved. That imprinted in my mind. And so when I was given the opportunity to direct a film that would reveal the horror of this, then I was very excited to do it.
Bitter Harvest is a film about the Ukrainian nation's love, honor and resilience. The relationship of the main characters Yuri and Natalia, played by Max Irons and Samantha Barks, are developing in the background of the collectivization program, a program that saw Stalin's forces take away the last food people had. In the film, Ukrainian villagers are being starved. The Soviet power condemned millions to death by hunger. Everyone trying to resist the communist regime got shot or were thrown into prison. But the main characters refuse to give up. They stand up for their lives and freedoms and start an uprising in their village. The leading actress, Samantha Barks, admitted she and her colleagues were unaware of the horrible crimes of Stalin against the Ukrainian people.
For me, when I first read the script, the fact that we don't know a lot about this horrific time in history was completely shocking. And so when I read it, it struck me as an incredibly important story to be told.
For 5 years, the filmmakers worked on the picture. Most of the filming took place in Ukraine at the Pyrohiv National Museum. The film is set in a rural village in Cherkasy region. The scenes by the Kremlin were made at London's Pinewood Studios. In order to make the film as close to the historical events as possible, the filmmakers consulted with the best Ukrainian experts and Harvard and Yale scientists. They also studied the memories of the Holodomor survivors.
We were very aware of the fact that knowledge about the Holodomor outside of Ukraine is almost non-existent. And that is why we wanted to create the film in a way that would be interesting for the West to see.
Bitter Harvest is all about emotions. It allows viewers to relive the feelings and challenges of those times. The film will be a real discovery for the whole world. The film's preview was a grand event. Politicians, diplomats and ministers attended, including the Ukrainian president's wife. She said, just imagine, in 500 days, about 10 million Ukrainians passed away. This means that every fifth Ukrainian was doomed to starvation and a horrible death by the Soviet power. Many years have passed, but the pain has never gone. The pain lives in our memory. We have to keep telling about the atrocities of the Soviet regime, about their revenge for our desire for independence. And unfortunately, these events resonate with the Russian aggression in eastern Ukraine and Crimea. Bitter Harvest will eventually be shown in theatres in 45 countries. This is Tom Bell for UATV.